Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's me again, that crazy guy with the lazy eye with HemetInews.com. And we got a crazy story, ladies and gentlemen, for you about a doggy that was taken in a home invasion 4.5 years ago and ended up in Riverside County. And, well, the story on how the dog made it to Riverside, only Ailani knows, folks. So I'm pretty sure she's going to stick to her story. But we got a story for you folks on how this dog got reunited with a family that their home was invaded 4.5 years ago from a city called Visalia, way up north of Bakersfield. So let's find out what happened and let's see the reuniting. Everybody wants a good story? Well, here you go.
Thieves with unusual targets. Action News reporter Corin Hogger joins us now live in Fresno County with the victims who've lost family members to those crooks. Corin?
Margot, detectives say 6 homes in this area near Carruthers and Easton have been hit by burglars in the last 3 weeks. In 2 of those cases, the thieves took more than just electronics and jewelry. They took dogs, more specifically, English bulldogs. After a weekend away, Sharon Perkins walked into her home Sunday night and found it in disarray. She knew right away burglars had struck. Electronics and jewelry were clearly missing. And as she walked through the house, she was close to tears when she realized her beloved bulldog, Jax, was also gone.
You know, it's hard to not be upset about it. You know, my house was already invaded, shambles. Not necessary to take my animals. It's just not. You know, I just don't understand why people would do that.
The house may seem lonelier now, but Perkins is not alone. Sheriff's detectives believe the same burglars have hit at least 6 homes in the same general area. At one of the others, the crooks took another bulldog. Like Jax, Ailani is a 1-year-old English bulldog. The dogs can be very valuable, but detectives aren't sure that's why they're being targeted.
Whether it's being resold or stolen and then maybe possibly used for breeding, we don't have any information about that.
Jax and Ailani have similar looks with brindle over their left eyes, and they have very distinctive teeth. Their owners tell me they feel almost like a family member's been kidnapped. But they're not worried about catching the burglars or getting back their iPads or their necklaces.
No questions asked. We just want the dog back. And just, if you have a heart at all, I mean, give us our dog back.
Perkins scraped together some money from family and friends, so she's offering a $3,300 reward to get Jax back. We'll post the lost posters and the detective's contact information on our website at abc30.com. Live in Fresno County, Corin Hogger, ABC 30 Action News.
All right, so can you give me your first and last names and spell it for me and tell me the story, what's behind this doggy?
Okay, well, my name is Donald Thurman, DonaldThurman, and this is my wife, Alysia Thurman, and it's ALYSIATHURMAN. So this beautiful little dog, not a puppy, one of my coworkers had actually found her in the Arlanza neighborhood in Riverside. And he was holding on to her for a couple days, and I kept hearing him talk about this dog, and then finally I asked him, I was like, what kind of dog are you guys talking about? And he's like, it's a bulldog. And he's like, I was gonna take her to the pound. But I know at some of the pounds, these type of dogs don't ever make it to the registry or whatever. They always end up something. So I was like, you know what, let me take her. And he's like, you can have her, my grandma doesn't want her at the house. I was like, okay. So I said, let me take her. I will, sorry, she's chipped. You know, I love these dogs to the core, so called my wife, I told her about it, and then I told her I was gonna pick her up after work. So I go and get her after work, and she just comes right to me. She's a very lovable dog. She jumped right in my car, and then the whole way she licked me all the way home and stuff, so I was already growing attached to her. So we got here, I took her inside, and then that's when my wife seen her, and she's like, that's somebody's pet. And I was like, absolutely, I know that's somebody's pet. Somebody's missing her. She's very, like, calm, tame. She's not wild. She's not a homeless dog. She's well maintained. She's got good teeth. So
whoever's had her, they've definitely,
took care of her.
I mean, she definitely looks good.
So we she tried to take her the other day to get her scanned the first day, but nobody responded, and I didn't want her to leave in the house. So finally somebody responded to come out and scan her today, and then I'm at work and I get a phone call from her crying that they found the owners, and then I'll let you explain from there.
Yeah, I'm a big old baby when it comes to it. He scanned her and he's like, oh, there's a chip. So called AKC Reunite, and the lady answered the phone, and she says, how did you come into possession of this dog? And I kind of just ran the story down that, she was found in Riverside, and we just wanted to make sure that we sought to find her true owner, before she ended up in the wrong hands. So the lady explained that she was part of a home invasion, robbery, burglary, something back in 2016. The original owners, they're from Visalia. That's where the crime occurred. There was some other dogs that were stolen up there too.
She was only 10 months old at the time.
Yeah, she was 10 months old. So, and it was 4.5 years ago or something. And they gave me the owner's number, and I called and I just asked her. I said, were you the owner of a bulldog that was involved in, a police report was filed for robbery or an invasion? And she just started crying. And I told her, I said, I have your dog. Like, she's here right now. Like, and, then we all started crying. And then, and then I'm going to cry now because I'm a big crybaby. So, and then I FaceTimed her, and so she got to see her. And then she sent me the picture of the original news article from 2016 when she was taken. So
Hi, now you want to share?
It's a heartwarming thing to see that she's gonna go home. There's a few kids there that were probably heartbroken and have probably been heartbroken, remained heartbroken the entire time. So we offered to meet him halfway, and I told her my husband was off work tomorrow and we could meet her halfway, and she says, I think that we'll just drive down now. And so they were probably in the car in less than a half hour after we talked, and they should be here any minute. So, and hopefully that she'll have a heartwarming
reunion
the rest of her life. So, yeah.
Awesome, a great job. So how did it make you feel when you made that phone call and found out that dog was involved in a home invasion so far away and was located here in Riverside?
I'm a firm believer, that everything happens for a reason. I don't know why she ended up in Riverside, but
or ended up with us,
or ended up here. And it's horrible, the things that are happening to these dogs. The way it makes me feel is I'm just happy that she's going to get a good ending,
And like I say, the reason why she ended up with you guys, because not all angels wears wings, folks. So, you guys are this dog's angel tonight, and I'm glad that you guys went on HemetINews.com to actually look for somebody that, provided a scanner. Of course, luckily we have a team that does that, and glad that we can
He was amazing
help
too.
you out.
It was great. He was extremely efficient, came right out. He responded quickly, and he was so courteous. It was awesome. So,
And I do want to give shout out to Fred B for doing that.
Kind people in this world mean a lot to us. We needed a story like this. So,
she's part of the blessed Life Bullies now.
so
Aren't you, baby?
yeah. So I'm excited.
I can't wait till her parents come and get her.
I can't wait till the kids get to see her, and So I couldn't imagine.
Do you not want me to
if
pet
it
your
happened
face,
to
or
one
you
of
just want me to
mine,
hold your hand?
I just.
Ready, come on in.
All right, so good morning, guys.
She's the sweetest dog, let me tell you.
Gosh, look at you. You're not a baby anymore. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Hi. Do you remember us?
She is so well-mannered and so nice, and we were just playing tug-of-war right now. There's like a whole different side of her. She was not letting go.
That's so weird. Oh my gosh.
You remember? Yeah, you remember. You remember my smell? Huh? You remember?
Oh.
You probably have stories to tell, don't you?
She ain't told anything yet. We keep asking her. I'm so glad, you guys. I am so glad you had her microchip. I just wish you guys could have got her sooner back.
I just needed one person to stand her and check the chip.
I told her when I brought her home, I said she belongs to someone. Someone's missing her.
And I was gonna have it done yesterday, and I just can't lift her. I cannot put her in my truck. Oh my god, she's so big.
We have little dogs, so the big dog for her was just. Look at her, look at her.
They say bulldog, and they think they're all the same. I don't think it's true what they say about those 2 years.
That's Maggie?
Oh, sit in my room with her, please.
I think they remember.
So what happened? How did she cut a story about somebody stealing her or breaking in or invasion? That's what the lady was telling my wife on the phone.
We were, it was
July 3rd?
July 3rd, and we were down the street. My parents live a half a mile from us, and we were down the street having a barbecue. And we left her at home because it was hot, and my mother-in-law lives right next to us, so she comes and checks on her. We left probably, 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yep.
And his mom wasn't home at that time. She came home about 7 o'clock and went to go check on her, and the house was ransacked, and
She was gone.
she was gone. They put her on her leash and walked her out.
She was the only thing missing?
No, they took other stuff too, but they put her. Yeah, her leash was gone. They walked her out, but she would have happily gone with them.
Absolutely.
She's amazing.
And go ahead and go.
Hi, I'm Isaac. This is my family. We're from Fresno, California. My daughters, Kaylee, Jillian, and my wife, Stacy. And this is our long-lost puppy dog. About 2016, around July 4th, Independence Day, she was stolen from us. There was a break-in in our house. They took everything else, and they also took our dog, which was hard for us to deal with. Took a long time to. We thought she was gone, and now she's back. Super excited. She seems to remember us. When after she was first stolen, we did a whole news flash thing. There was a series of robberies going on in rural areas, and a couple of bulldogs got stolen actually, and so there was a lot of news action on it. My wife was doing a report through our local news department, and we'd get tips off of that every now and then. And those tips led us to different areas in town, Fresno and surrounding areas. And I would actually go out and after work, and if we got a tip, I would go out and stake out the place for a couple hours around schools, around parks where people were walking dogs, because the tips were saying, hey, I think I saw your dog over here in this area. So they never wanted to give their name or anything or any return. So I'd go out there and watch, and I did that for weeks after work. And eventually just accepted we probably weren't going to see her again. We made friends with another couple from the area whose house was broken into by the same guy, stole their bulldog. They got their dog back, same thing, about 4 weeks afterwards.
Ailani was taken 2 weeks before their dog, and they called the news. They were on the news, and they got their dog back the same night that the news story ran. And so she was only gone for about 4 days. But no sign of Ailani until today.
So what happened today? How did you find out about Ailani?
Today?
Yeah.
We got a phone call. I was cleaning my house. And got a phone call that she was here and her chip was scanned, and here we are.
It makes it sound a lot more nonchalant. She turned red immediately. I answered the phone first, and handed the phone over. I was like, it's about the bulldog. I couldn't even remember the dog's name at that point.
What bulldog? What are you talking about? Just because it did, I mean.
Half of her thought it might be a prank, it might be somebody fishing for information, but when you started talking about the police report and the fact that you called her number and then my number, I was like, oh my God, this might be it. And then so she just broke out into tears, her face was red.
We all did.
Red, crying, emotional.
Told the girls they're crying.
On pins and needles, wanted to know that she was in good health. Really?
Now, what you as the girls, when you found out about it, how did it make you feel? What went through your mind?
Just oh my God, it was really emotional.
Awesome.
They were just little girls when she was stolen, you know.
Right.
They were still young, but they were really little. And it was a really hard, scary time when our house was broken into and she was taken.
Now, what happened when your house broke into? Where were you guys at, and how did you find out?
Just down the road at my mom's house for a barbecue, and middle of the day, somebody broke in, stole all kinds of stuff, and took her with them. And she was 10 months old when they took her.
And she's how old now?
She's about 5.5.
Look at that, and she looks so happy. She seems to recognize you guys even after so many years.
That's awesome.
So, folks, that is one heartwarming story right here on HemetINews.com.
Very thankful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. No problem. Get her on the chair. All right.
She got it, right? You know what?
Watch your legs.
Like 4.5 years.
So, how does it make you feel to knowing that you reunited these family and these doggies?
We're, like I said, we're big dog lovers, and I knew she belonged to someone. She was just too perfect not to have someone missing her, you know. And if my dog came up missing like that, you know, it would devastate me and my family. And I'm just really glad they got their dog back. I'm really glad.
Good job.
It's a great outcome, you know. Everybody needs a good story, so.
Especially right now.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm glad you had a check.
How does this make you feel?
I'm just glad that she's able to get back with her family, because I know if I lost my dog, I wouldn't be able to cope.
Did you fall in love with a doggy while y'all had her?
Yes.
So it's a heartwarming story for you?
Yes.
So what message would you have to anybody that finds a dog?
Always try to make sure you can find their owner, because if you do, you'll help someone else too.
That's it. And make sure you have your doggies microchipped.